welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm gonna talk about these two books again. This video is gonna be like review video, detailed review. So first of all I want to tell that what really made me touched by these books. So the first thing is that the language is so clear and the expressions are so understandable, which every writer writes beautifully. So, keeping it apart, the author is writing her most vulnerable parts and parts where she felt put into her traumas, that events, and her behavior toward that some incidences, and her reaction toward the world view and world's view on her. So she's criticizing herself throughout the book. So it is a essay. It is the document of the most vulnerable things she felt, and she is writing, she is putting it down in words in so much clarity, so much candid. She is not hiding anything. If she is hiding, I don't know what it is, but after reading it I felt it is so candid. How someone can be so clear and open open and blunt about her own flaws. She is mentioning that what events that hurts her the most, and how she reacts to some events, and the reactions she gives to events makes her criticize herself more. Like if she hates something, then she criticizes that why she hates this, why she can't ignore the things, and why she is always self-conscious, and she accepts that her self-esteem is so low. She's mentioning every dark parts of her life. She calls this journey a pathetic thing she has put down in this book. So which are not so pathetic, they are beautiful, but they made her feel vulnerable and feel breaking or something. And when she thinks of her feelings, why she is getting hurt, the feelings are so shallow in comparison to her. There are lot many people who are feeling more pain than her, mentally, physically, emotionally, in all aspects. But comparing our problems with some other person's problem, and sabotaging and piling up the feeling we are feeling right now, thinking that it is nothing in compared to them, this gets bottled up, piled up, and comes out disastrous, which happened in her case. So she is having depression, persistent depression. She got therapy for 10 years, and the psychiatrist is quite good, I guess. She don't deserve the criticism she got in internet. So let me read first some reviews which are already mentioned here. If I was able to tell why I feel let me. When I was reading this book, I was stopping at every next line to self introspect inside me what it was connecting to the past which I have forgotten. I don't even remember where I felt depressed, where I felt so down, where I felt so loser kind. And they were not vanished at all, they are piled up in me. And when I was reading this, I introspected, I was able to connect to the threads and introspect my feelings, why I was feeling that way. And so in some sort I was able to come out of that feeling. I was able to acknowledge it, I was able to relieve myself that okay, it happened and it happens to everyone, like it happened to the author as well. So let me read this, some reviews mentioned in this already. So first, which makes it, which is the crisp of the entire books, both books. So if there was one word to sum up this book, it is seen. You will feel seen. The entire thing she went through is will somehow feel personal. You'll feel you're reading your own diary. But I guess if I ever write my diary, I don't think I will be able to put my vulnerable parts and some dark and beautiful parts so precisely, and how I felt at that moments. And I don't know if I'd even be able to think what makes me vulnerable. I don't know. These are all ambiguous inside me. So it makes it seen. You'll see the parts where you are so ambiguous and you could not even remember where you felt that pain, and that pain persists, not vanished. So it feels seen, and let us acknowledge it, not put it aside. So this book felt like a hug. Literally, it was a hug, a warm hug from ourselves, like a pat on the back that says you are doing fine, you are okay, and even if you are not, you will be someday. An honest and candid account of the ways in which our brain often set out to sabotage, but a reminder that self kindness can go a long way. It takes a long time. We often are not very kind to ourselves. We try to pretend that we are kind to the world, but we are ignore ourselves. We are not kind to ourselves. If we make mistake, we often punish ourselves so harshly, or we can't even realize that we did something wrong. But when we do, we criticize ourselves inside and kill our soul by punishing it so harshly. But why? And I love this author because she is so able to put the things down. And also I like Prajakta Kohli. I really like Prajakta Kohli because she is so beautiful person. Like she said in some interview that she's kind toward herself. She forgives when she does any mistake, and she is not very harsh toward herself. She do not punish us very harshly. She is kind. So like we are to other people, when we like how we want other person to don't be harsh and be kind to us, in the same way we must be kind to ourselves as well. So this author is just opposite of Prajakta Kohli. So next, that transcripts are incredibly honest and offer a brave insight into how the mind can trick you into believing certain situations are far more fearful than they actually are in reality. So often we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. The reality is so not problematic, but our inside is. So this is what na I think I will not be able to put these things inside my internal dialogues as well, which this author talked with her psychiatrist. So while reading, I remember thinking, so other people live like this too. True. And sometimes that can be the most comforting thing to realize, that if we suffer alone, that makes us think pathetic or about ourselves. But when we know this is normal, this is general, everyone goes through this, it feels like okay, I'm not different, I'm not alien, I'm human, and this is life. When I picked it up, this goes very perfectly with me. So how I came across this book was Misho. Hi, I'm Indian, and we have Misho, Flipkart, Amazon, and some other platforms. But I got this from Misho, the cheapest platform. So I got this from there. If this profit does not go through to the author, that will be intellectual breaching the intellectual property right, and I am having the pirate copy. So I think that's not the case, but let's read. When I picked it up, I wanted to love this book. Exactly. I was attracted by its name. See, Tabuki. So it's Korean dish, I guess. And it was so, if you are not Korean, then this will look like something very alien. Double T. double K, Tugboki. It is very odd kind of. So this attracted me the most. Then I initially I ignored it, but when I saw the news about the death of our author, which is unfortunate event, then I realized, okay, I've seen this book somewhere, and the curiosity grew in me, and I rewarded with these two books when I completed my 30-day challenge of not having a single cup of chai. So I'm glad that I picked these two books. So when I picked it up, I wanted to love this book because I didn't want it to be disappointed. And when I finished reading it, I loved it more than I expected. True, I loved it. I really loved it. This book will be on top of my comfort read now, and I will revisit it very often going forward. True. Like nothing I have ever read. The raw honesty. Very raw. I must you must read it. It's very recommendable. I recommend this to you. Just go through these two books. They are very cheap and they are very thought provoking. If you don't like it, I think you are so good in position that you are not feeling this vulnerable feelings, and I think you are very near to moksha. So like nothing I have ever read, the raw honesty and candid writing on mental health is to be commended. And the last, for those of us who can relate to the unassuming, persistent, spread out weight of sadness that doesn't quite feel worthy of the title depression, because depression is very heavy word. It is sadness and unassuming, persistent, spread out weight of sadness that doesn't quite feel worthy of the title depression. This is the book. Who have not the depression and not are in very good condition, jolly, always joyful, joy loving, extrovert kind of. So this is the book you must read. So I think I covered that what made me touched with this book. I explained it through reviews. I don't want to give you a spoiler. Go through it, feel the essence of it, and enjoy. One thing I wanna tell is our author is criticizing herself very much because she is depressed and she thinks everything she does and she's going through are wrong. We all feel that our problem is the utmost problem in the world, and when we see someone else's problem, then we feel, why are we behaving so over dramatic? And that criticism, that we are being over dramatic to criticizing ourselves, that also goes with more guilt, that all parts are been have been touched so candidly, so clearly, so beautifully. So go through this. And in second book, I want to say first four chapters were so heavy, so heavy. So let me read first to the readers. The author is saying, when reading this book you might feel embarrassment or shame or judgment. I think I didn't feel the embarrassment nor judgment nor neither shame. So, as if you are reading an old diary entry of your own. The first four chapters were very heavy, and I was not relating too much with it because I haven't gone through that much pain yet, touch wood, and I don't want to go as well. But this is what life is. So, as if you are reading an old diary entry of your own. When that happens, close the book for a moment. Remind yourself that this is someone else's story and try to separate it from those feelings. So she knows the reader very much. That in first four chapters, I discontinued it again and again, and I took almost 1 to 2 weeks to complete 4 chapters because they were very heavy. I was discontinued discontinuing it again and again, but once I reached fifth chapter, it was transitioning. Fourth chapter was peak, where she goes up to the point where she cuts her own skin. she's she's cutting her own skin. Think how dark it is. And fifth chapter is kind of transition, and from sixth where she meets an accident, from where her point of view slightly changes toward life and her problems and her point of view. So here the positivity starts and ends with something good, but she's not completely cured. She says that in second part, second book, she wanted to complete it by saying I'm cured, but she says I can't say that because she is not. So I wanted to read one more paragraph, but I think it's getting very long. So let's end this video here, and I highly recommend it. Go through it. It's the memoir of author where she is going through persistent depression. Persistent depression. She journaled it, or what I can say, the conversation with her psychiatrist, and advice is like when we relate to the author, we get the response from psychiatrist. So this is cherry on the cake, that psychiatrist advices, and they are so practical. She is not being idealistic, she is realistic. So they both combined together are so beautiful book. So I highly recommend it. Go through it. And what I like more about this book is the tone. The author is saying that she sometimes become too fit in the group, too fit in life. She deliberately tries to being funny, but I think the fun part is natural in her, the way she has written it, both books. So some parts are in first book, it was hilarious in some parts when she was sharing her dark parts. But yeah, the tone is so good and she feels so natural and so candid. I just love her. So I think that's it for this video. Let me know if you want another part because I have too much to tell. So yeah, bye.